Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги.
Good morning, dear colleagues, dear friends.
Сегодня в рамках Международной недели
Today, in the framework of the International Business Week, we would like to start the session, the implementation of the digital solution platform EFFEKTIVNOST.RF within the framework of implementation of national project, labor productivity and labor efficiency. And among those companies that are invited here are the companies who are very proactive and they are engaged within this efficiency labor project, and because they know how to get benefits out of this. And we are going to have the working discussion, and we are also going to touch upon some issues and to see how it is being implemented, how it is going to be used, and how this platform, EFFEKTIVNOST.RF, is going to be used in our everyday life. And the first speaker will be the Deputy Minister of Economic Development and Innovative Development of Bashkortostan, Ayrat Fakhriddinov, who is also the head of the regional project on labor efficiency. Thank you very much. Good morning, dear colleagues. I'm happy to welcome everyone. We have also invited the participants of the national project that have already conducted certain measures and achieved certain results, and they've been implementing their own independent projects. And before proceeding with digital solutions, we would like to give some introductory words. We will tell you how it is going on with the national projects and about the movement forward. And if we look at the intensity, you would see that as for the national project from Bashkortostan, we have already included over 140 companies, primarily the KPI was quite achievable, and we are planning to achieve it by the beginning of this year. And business understands it and is getting very much interested in this. And as for the national project, it captures all of the branches of industry, those that are considered in this national project. What we have achieved during this period of time, by now our colleagues from the National Center of Excellences have already provided the support for lean manufacturing, and also were provided the support, and also about 20 companies were provided support and preferences from the National Center. And within the scope of this program, we provided training for about 2,600 persons, which is 20% higher than those figures that were delivered to us primarily. And the most popular, speaking about the management of the companies, would be the programs for management training that is called the Leaders of Productivity or the Leaders of Efficiency. So this is being implemented together with the Russian Academy of External Trade. We have already finished our quota, but for the next year we were given some more places for training so far for them to be able to get such an opportunity to be trained. As for other preferences that we've obtained, at the regional level, we have established the corporate center of training, and for the Russian Federation, they had only 15 training centers, and we were able to establish the third of those. So this is the biggest number of training centers. From the point of view of financial stipulation of efficiency, here I would say that the main thing that we have done was the beneficial loan that we have received for IT industry, and here we are also optimizing our efforts. And hence, if you primarily apply, and before the positive decision for provision of a loan, it's 120 days. But the first participant who applied for this support was able to cover this whole part during 40 days. So from the moment of application to positive decision for the loan. So in addition to this, from the region, we have also amplified the efforts for compensation of those costs that the company is bearing by reducing the profit tax, the so-called tax deduction, investment tax deduction, and we have also considered the direct investments. So far, the coverage of the cost
Приобретение оборудования до 30%.
For procurement up to 30%, and 12 companies received such support. And in general, we were able to upgrade their equipment, and it was for 90 million rubles. Why I'm telling all this? Well, in general, this is not related to the topic of our session. But if we proceed with digitization, any business is supposed to go through basic stages. And the first stage is to implement lean production, lean manufacturing, where they need to put everything into the order. And then if they review if they're missing or need the upgrade of their equipment, and they need to understand if they have enough equipment available, and then they proceed with the civilized model utilizing the IT solutions. And here I would like to citate our president that before proceeding with lean manufacturing and before implementing AI, so we need to have basic elements, and the first would be implementation of the best lean manufacturing solutions. And it is clear that these two things are tied together. So before covering the first two stages, proceed with digitization, it will result in house digitization. So far, before getting into digitization, we need to avoid house. And that is why I would like to start this session with these words. And now I would like to proceed with digital solutions.
Спасибо большое, Айрат Салаватович. Ну, собственно, да, если переходить...
Thank you very much. But proceeding to practical part, I would like to give the floor to Pavel Khristenko, the CEO of Digital Technologies of Productivity, who will tell us how to work with EFFEKTIVNOST.RF. And he will also tell us about why we need digitization and why we need to offer it to the companies. I know that you have a very young company. Your company is really very young, and the solutions that you're utilizing is now getting more and more powerful. So please tell us how we can effectively engage. So thank you very much, Ruslan. Colleagues, good morning. Thank you very much for such a chance to tell you about what we are doing. And it has already been mentioned correctly. The first thing is the lean management. We need to adjust the production line, and we need to put this chaos into order. And for the next stage, for digitization, this has to be done. And so far, I will tell you about what we have done and what we have implemented by now and what kind of program of regional development we have at the moment. This is a new story for us. We have just invented it with the regions, and we have proceeded with development of it. And for 30 years, the Ministry of Economic Development and Investment Policy of Bashkortostan, and for 5 years, they are engaged in this project. And from this year, within our regional partnership model, I'm happy that Bashkortostan was able to join us, and it's the first one to join, and we will try to help each other. What we are planning to implement, I will briefly tell you about what we are doing, and I would like all of you to have kind of a general impression about what is going on. And we are all engaged in this project of labor efficiency and this national project that have already been mentioned. They are our founders. The second founder is the Rostech, and so it is managed by Andrei Belausov, as you know, and he identifies the vector for our development. We were polishing this model of digitization of that support that the companies need with regards to feedback and research. And in October, we have presented our EFFEKTIVNOST.RF platform with all of the services. And at this platform, we try to integrate 3 major participants and stakeholders: the companies, participants of the project, and the developers of the product, and the experts. Primarily, we planned that everything was going to be done within digital technologies. But now the model has been expanded to a certain extent. And as far as I remember, the Republic is allowed to invite not just 5 stakeholders, but also the companies that are willing to enter the national project. And as for the experts, we were planning to create the internal review, but we have implemented this review, but we understood that as for the number of people who are willing to help all of the companies all over the country is not just the matter of internal involvement of experts, but also involvement of external partners. That is, the strategy is being developed at the moment, and the model of interaction is also being developed on the regional level with the regional centers. This is what I'm talking about right now, and also involvement of review board that also exists at the moment. And so hence here we mean integrators and vendors. But also I would like to mention that having our supervisory board represented by the Ministry of Trade and Industry of Russia and the Ministry of Economic Development, we also have the Ministry of Digital Manufacturing, and we also have the Russian railroads, Rostech, and those corporations that share with our client experience, functional requirements, and correct approaches that we should undertake in order to be able to proceed from lean management and equalizing and balancing the manufacturing processes. As you know, so this would be the PCR Rosatom program based, and then they will proceed with digitization. And so IRAT mentioned 145. This is an obsolete data. We will take these 3 companies into consideration. So next year we're planning to engage more and more companies into our national project. Now we have 57 companies at the platform. They were able to receive the first services for diagnostics, and they will be able to use all of the products on our client's path. And also, we need to recognize that we have quite a substantial number of companies involved right now. Why it is important? It is important for us because we accumulate the statistics, the data about the companies. Thus, we create the knowledge database, the internal one. And the more companies we have for diagnostics, the more companies we have that will tell us what they have in their premises, then the better the feedback they will receive from us as soon as we identify the point of growth for them in case if they implement digitization. And what we are talking about? We are talking about the obstacles that they are facing at the stage of digitization. We understand that the biggest obstacle at the moment is to start this digitization process. From the statistical data, we understand 90% of employees have hardly ever heard of digitization. But as soon as we proceed with digitization, speaking from data that we know, last year it was probably quite clear, but this year it's more complicated due to lack of resources and to lack of money that is going to be spent for digitization. But 3 major obstacles will be unavailability to get the full scope of information. The information is available. You may browse the internet, and knowing the software, you may get to the web page and try to identify some aggregated information. But it's really very difficult to aggregate the entire scope of information, especially if you have a dedicated product, and you need to find different pieces of information, and we understand that this is an obstacle. As for the second obstacle, there are no dedicated IT experts, and here I would like to stress, not just IT experts, but functional ones, those who will have enough skills of a digitizer. So, for example, you have the head of stock, the head of vehicle shop. They know what they're doing, and they know how the company operates. They know about the processes, how the processes work. Maybe they have already been adopted, and so they were trained at the Federal Center of Excellences. But in order to be able, the next step, and to get to digitization, this person needs to have digitization skills. And speaking from statistics, these super competent functional customers are the people who were unable, due to some specific training, to get these skills. But they must have these skills in order to understand what could be implemented and what should be done in the next step. And As it has been mentioned about WAFT, and we've been polishing these skills of our participants, but this would be one of the key obstacles, and by means of our services at the platform, we will be able to implement it. So, and the lack of funds for digital projects, this is one of the key factors, challenging factors, because everyone earlier, used to write different plans of implementation, SAP in implementation, for example, with Siemens, and nowadays we understand that vendors have left the market and the software has left the market, the resource has already been spent, which is the most important, and we need to utilize it because they recall the licenses. But what is the most difficult here is the fact that the new investment projects are oriented on filling the gap in materials, in material basis that is under threat of continuous reduction, of continuous production and continuous manufacturing. And it is more important to fill your stock with materials and valuables rather than to get into digits. And what is important here and why we are approaching the region is the fact that the regional agenda gives unique, specific regional knowledge about the companies that will be helpful in terms of understanding the services that we provide. And as for the regional agenda, this would be an addition to a supplementary thing to our database, knowledge database that will allow us to approach companies faster, and then we will be able to help them faster. And this model of cooperation, the EFFEKTIVNOST.RF, is capable of doing is to create the strategy for digitization, also the process of decision-making, implementation of digitization processes. So these ways are not just all of the ways of assistance provision, but these are the ways of what we know how to do it and how to help the companies. And those tasks that the Republic has, everyone knows about these tasks: economic, investment, digital, industrial development. These tasks are extremely important, and these are the tasks that would affect the vitality of our country. And those opportunities that we have in our platform will be very helpful for the companies and for the region for implementing the top tasks in terms of development. And now speaking about the platform itself, what we have done, so we have demonstrated in October, we have introduced our platform, we have shown the first steps of those digital services that we have already been able to implement. We have shown the entire client's path. The participant will be able to go from the moment of decision-making about digitization and digitization of processes to implementation. Our model is supposed to be intended for maximum automation of services. We understand that the data is being collected by the Federal Tax Service, information systems, and others, and we understand that by subscribing, we will understand who is talking to us. Thus, we will be able to provide the feedback that would be relevant for taking a decision about digitization. And based on different questionnaires, additional questionnaires, we will be able to demonstrate for the company where the point of growth is, and so in terms of the number of personnel, specific features of its functioning, then we will be able to provide the digital development plan for the company and also implementation plan. This is really the must-have for the company to be able to proceed with the choice of the right digital solution, and then we will offer the digital product that would be appropriate for this manufacturing. So far, we are helping not the CEO and not the IT director, but the functional customer that has certain IT skills or does not have these IT skills or has these skills at a certain level. Then this person would get to his CEO or IT director with a package of documentation, with kind of a proposal in terms of digitization and then get into agreement about digitization process. We have a lot of partners at the regional level in cooperation, not only in Rosatom, Russian Railways, or Rostelecom. We're not limited with those practices that we gained. We aggregate it at our platform and then we deliver it to the customers. We have the internal review that is also helpful in the case we need to visit the site and then to provide support right on site. I think that only the platform will be able to say better than I say. Please come to our platform, subscribe, get all the services for free, and join the project labor efficiency. Get involved in lean management, put your cows into order, and then proceed with the next step, digitization. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I want to say that we have some conversation after the session, after the speakers, and within our session we can also have some conversation. And he is today here, and you can ask him after that. Thank you very much. And I would like to say that that digitalization is cooperation within business and IT business, and also it's a global task for the state, and the state takes into consideration it, and it supports this platform, and it considers as vital. So it's about a model cooperation of business and state. And I would like to give the floor of the Deputy of Minister of Digital Development, Public Administration of the Republic of Bashkortostan, Taipov Rasul.
Добрый день, коллеги.
Good day, colleagues. Thank you. Colleagues, please, enterprises, just show me your hands. I should understand the sphere. So other enterprises, so good. Yes, it's the ERA event today. We have this mixture of these two projects. There are two really cool crews. What I'm talking about is the Ministry of Digital and Development has also its project which is called Digital Technologies. So no, it's not. Okay, so here it is. So I think it keeps up. So we have nowadays our priority and our initiative before you as Ministry of Economical Development and Digital Development, and we have to mix and make your ecosystem consequently from the digital, from the information to digitalization. Yes, we pass through this way of this globalization, digitalization, but as I can see, there is some inquire. Can you click, please? Can you scroll? I can't do it. Something is wrong.
So, you
have the demand in coming to the next step. In this sphere, we have in our region a unique ecosystem, which is really a serious governance model, which consists of the state support and participation, and each gives you the opportunity to look at these technologies that you can apply to your enterprises, and then you can decide whether to use it or not. What I am talking about, the first is, in 2016, we created the Association of Digital Development in Republic of Bashkortostan. So Kirill Vladimirovich is the deputy, is the head of this association. And we have great experience in terms of how to work, how to cooperate with enterprises. And in terms of these relations,
спрос
And here is a demand on the product.
на самом деле они имеются.
And so here is demand on this product of enterprises does exist. So we came to the format which we have opened last year of project office, the project office of digital transformation. We opened on the base of our company Bashin from Svязь, and so it is a serious system of Rostelecom.
С точки зрения
And adding to that, from the point of view of operating these digital products, we understood that we need to make stronger, from the point of view of some innovational methods.
которые невозможно
And here is some serious research which can't be implemented without science.
помогла нам в этой схеме.
And so Association of Educational Companies helped us a lot in this project. So what we are suggesting, first is region, state, the government, and after that, and it has a serious ecosystem which consists of two associations. These are IT and education. And today we are talking about that we can see that as we already discussed, we add to each other. And we can apply, we can introduce some serious solution with EFFEKTIVNOST.RF, with the same methods, with the same way of implementation, with physical existence here in our region. So it's additional effect and possibility for you, which makes for you, which widens for you the door to this digital transformation. And these are particular people, some physical human beings. You can ask many questions to me. And our office is on Kirva Street 105. It's a physical office. You can come there, and every organizations are there, and you can cooperate there with them. And cooperation is focused on that you have to be given the complex solution which gives you to improve your profit. So that's it. Everything else, as it's said by entrepreneurs, it shouldn't be of your interest. You don't have to understand what should I invest. So it is important to have the introduction, implementation of the first people. So I want to pay attention that everything that we are presenting today is a complex, and it is aimed. That is not my slide. Okay. No, that is not my presentation. Sorry. Okay, let it be so. So I'll stop here. Well, as a result, we can present to you as a complex digital solution that can give you the opportunity. The only decision is not interesting. It's not giving you these important results. This current year we have experience of realization of this project in numbers. We implemented such serious decisions, solutions. It's unclear what it will be in the next year, but it's clear that in 80% we have to deduct our working, and this number is about 5 million rubles of funding. We don't know what will be in the next year, but we know for sure that on this platform we can guarantee that here and now, just literally today, we can begin our work on audit and examination by experts and supply this suggestion to you, which can be helpful for you.
любой аудит
in any way, some experts in IT can understand that this database that you receive from that, it is a serial base for the forward this movement.
максимально использовать
So we want to maximum use this platform, EFFEKTIVNOST.RF. We consider it as a very prospective project.
как правильно,
And we can learn from you, I think.
буквально исходя из своего понимания.
We did it before just from our own experience, but now I think that we can add to each other. So thank you. I'm ready to answer some questions. Thank you very much. Enterprises are already on this way of digitalization. The trend of development is chosen, and the state support is here. And we can rely on this support of the government. So we want to continue our conversation with some practical examples. So we want to see the results of profits, development, stability of the enterprises. So with this aim, I give the floor to the Poletaev Kirill. He is the CEO of For Dialect GSC, Chairperson of Information Technologies Development Association of the Republic of Bashkortostan.
Thank you. Good morning, dear colleagues. Just quick comment before I tell you, and I will tell you about who we are, how we were created, what kind of association we are, how many companies are involved. Primarily, our association started to be generated around Fort Dialogue. I am the CEO for this company for over 30 years. It's one of the largest IT companies in Bashkortostan. Annually, it is included in top 25 largest IT integrators in the Russian Federation. We have representation in Volga region, in Moscow, and one of our main directions is manufacturing digitization. In 2016, as it has already been mentioned, we got an idea to establish the IT association. So we had a scattered community of IT companies in our republic. Every individual company was trying to do something independently, but once the company is a small one, every company is a small one, and all of the IT projects become vertically integrated, the server-based solution, they need the resources and they need substantial market for every product. So far, we decided to create the unified IT association in order to be able to promote the services of our IT companies to the federal market and also to foreign markets as well. This was our first task, and the second task was to find the promotion instruments, also integration of marketing budgets, and participation in exhibitions, IT projects, collaboration in different projects, and probably solution of some issues arising. For example, if one company is lacking some things, then another company having the partnership scheme takes the finished model by that moment and installs it for the customer. So far, it makes the cost of a solution cheaper for the customer, and also it improves the review of the projects. And one of our main objectives was to integrate the efforts for the purpose of receiving grants and subsidies for development of IT solutions for every company individually. So far, with such massive support from the Ministry of Digital Development, this money we managed to deliver to customers for further participation and involvement in these projects. Currently, we have 16 Republican IT companies in our association. If we count the general number of personnel, it's over 1,000 individuals, and the annual turnover of our companies is over 6 billion. At this slide, we have listed the companies that are involved in import substitution. So it has already been mentioned today that at the moment the challenges that we're facing are not related not only to implementation of new products, but substitution of those vendors that left the market. So we have such companies in our association. We have the manufacturers of telecom equipment, ERP systems, electronic document exchange, GIS systems, cable products, and also we have parallel import in terms of import substitution, and substitution of the automation for many companies, as far as many foreign vendors have already left the market, and the major business processes that we consider, and not just business processes, but automation of the processes, is suspended. Here you see the QR code, and if you look at this this code, then probably QR code, if you load this QR code, then we have the whole list of IT solutions, and if you have any need, you may look at all of the companies that are in our association. We have structurized everything into products and then into tasks.
Буквально несколько слов по схеме взаимодействия.
As for interaction, before I proceed with examples, we have launched our demo zone, and it is based on for dialogue, but it has certain potential. It works for association, for demonstration of IT solutions and projects. It's located not far from here at Pushkin Street, and we have introduced about 70 IT solutions, and 12 of those have already been taken as the feasibility projects for our customers, and the main task for the software complexes, for software products, to introduce them to customers, to be able to see, to touch, and to look at a demo model, and then before launching this product at the company, then to take a decision. And as I've already mentioned, this has become really important this year as far as some of the Western vendors left the market, and people do not trust our software solutions. That is why they approach us, and they want to look at different solutions offered, and then they choose the best option. Probably one needs to click earlier. Here you see the main topics on import substitution, and these topics related to centers of data processing, import substitution of technical security, fire protection devices, digitization of industry, and so on and so forth. And just a few cases I would like to describe. This is what we have done this year. It seems to me that this is directly connected with our today's topic. This is how digitization improves efficiency of our work. We have Rusal company and their facility in Bratsk, and the task that we had. If you look at the bottom part of this page, you would see the casting shop, and here you see the crane, the bridge crane, where the person used to sit and used to control these buckets, and so in such difficult conditions, and especially in the conditions of high temperature and evaporation of vapors, the decision was made that so it's moving itself. So to automate this process, so the chair of the operator was supposed to be located remotely. So, as you see here on the top page, we have made the desk for the operator with a monitor, with video cameras in the production shop, with radio control.
Тут такие джойстики и, соответственно,
joystick, and the operator sits in comfortable conditions and works with the video system and controls the movement of the crane. And as you see, it's never done for 100%, but we should say that we improved the labor environment 100% as far as it's not the production shop. We reduced the physical load and we improved the efficiency by 20% for the operators. And this is the data that we received from the customer.
Так, а можете запустить?
So can you start the presentation?
Я пока начну рассказывать.
Now I will start telling you. That's not my slide, please. Give me my slide back.
Это еще назад. Так, а это я нажимаю или вы нажимаете? Или мы вместе нажимаем?
Is it me who is pressing the button, or you are pressing the button, or we are doing it together? Let me scroll it back.
Система это, значит, поставка.
So here is another system. It's the supply of technical support for audio and video recording for the court meetings and court hearings. So we know that earlier we used to have an operator, cameraman. So this person is called the secretary of the court. And this person used to write the protocol of the meetings, the minutes of this meeting, and it was the automated recording with speech recognition during the court hearings. And so during the hearing, the audio is being recorded, then transferred into text. The minutes of the meeting are being written. The report is being written, and nothing is vanished because it is done in automated mode. It's generated automatically, so it will be just inserted into the format and then saved in the database. To our opinion, we have improved and expedited the process itself by 70%. And thus, it allows not to lose any information.
Как нам кажется, это повышение эффективности.
We consider this is also improvement of efficiency. Another topic that we have is the automation of hoisting and offloading work for Agrasila Holding and Chelny Broiler.
Выпускают
They manufacture
эти бедрышки, что там у них.
Poultry meat.
Соответственно, процесс.
And so here, the improvement of efficiency, offloading and offloading of the finished product. The vehicles used to approach the loading point, so they were giving paper records, then weighing procedure took place, and then we automated the process. We put the automated scales, and so we automated the checkpoint as well, and so for entering the checkpoint, the number plate of the vehicle is being read, then it approaches the scale, then the information is automatically loaded into 1C, the accounting program, and then it leaves the loading point, and then they compare the weight on scales and the weight of the product that is being loaded. So if everything goes on, if everything is okay, then this vehicle is allowed to leave, and thus we reduced the theft from the company. So thus we also helped efficiency. We reduced theft from the company. And here you see the examples. Here you see my contact information. You may scan and scan the code, the QR code of our company and of our association for dialogue. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. So let's continue in these practical cases of realization in industry. We would like to listen to the deputy in construction industry.
организация, которая является...
He is the CEO of an organization which is the leader in such projects.
Цифровизации тоже у них много
And
интересных.
he has also some solutions, interesting solutions in digitalization. So, good day, colleagues. My name is Ranis Davletshin. Today I'm going to talk about digitalization of construction industry, about some features. Not many people know that construction industry is considered as the least digital. But while at the same time, the digital industry has more profit. The construction industry has more profit thanks to this digitalization. So I can say briefly about my company. The company was founded in 2016. It was founded for some assembling work, some construction works in terms of engineering holding beton. So here's our company, and through these years we've grown. We have many projects. We have 9 state projects. Our technological solutions are considered in scientific institutions. And altogether, it led us to implement our projects in a really short term, because we are competent in this sphere. So, just connected with digitalization. When we were coming to the market, we had some challenges. And these are some features of digitalization of construction industry. It is that people face when they have this digitalization. So it's a physical character of work. We are not enterprises, we are not production, we are not implementing some informational projects. We do everything manually. So our engineers, everything do just manually. Of course, and using these IT instruments and some tools, it's a characteristic of our industry. So we have also the control of staff. It's about some labor efficiency. So when we have such physical processes, and the third feature is some paperwork, paper turnover. It is considered to have such paperwork, but it is about that everything is fixed on paper. So some 78. Everything was on paper and there was no other way. So some inner documentation, some declarations, some invoices, everything is on paper. So, which comes from this, it is some lack of digital tracks. It is difficult to speak about digitalization of process in maximum way. Our process is not digitalized. So we have little database, and it's difficult to do some process to optimize processes. So the next challenge we faced is a lack of culture of working with database. Digitalization was mild. That's why these advantages that gives this digitalization, we have lack of it. So, and the last challenge, it is the difficulty of operational governance. So when people rely on some database and they make decision rely on this, and the control of the decisions. So what about the digitalization of our company? When we began doing that, we did it some distance. We had our partner in this sphere. We realized this project with him, and we consequently made these processes. We made everything just with techniques, with the process, with shipments, and the governance operation process. So we started with our staff control. We automated our control systems. We automated our staff, which are in a distant work and on some crews. And it is important for our company to quickly organize such projects. When we have to construct something, we have to quickly gather a crew, a company. Which is about paperwork. We have also did some processes. We digitalized our paperwork, our paper turnover, and we integrated these processes. What about cooperation on the area or working area? So we made the system control of staff, of equipment by GPS. After that, we paid attention to the process of shipment. It was the place which was after this digitalization. It's about control of our partners. So last was digitalization and automation, the control of labor efficiency. And after that, we launched the system of electric things that helped us to follow our works. After that, we could make some quick decisions about construction. We could forecast on database the terms of construction, and after that we introduced using these databases, and we analyzed this process and used this thing as automation of our process. That was our digitalization. What about our solution and our supply suggestion? We had some advantages, and our suggestions, our offers are for having our construction industry to the next level. So it's implementation of digital paperwork, paper turnover, because paperwork, they don't make the process operational and in quick way. So the years 70, 80, next year, we're planning that everything will be established by our partners. So there weren't any standards, that's why it wasn't possible before. Many organizations didn't introduce this digital database. That's why we waste our time, our database, because we continue working with paperwork, with paper turnover, because everything is on the paper. And the second offer is digitalization of the process. We have to apply new methods in order to digitalize our construction processes, which are out of this digital process. We want to see new products, new technologies, and the last offer is to improve working with database. We suggest that we have to try to do this, and we have to learn in cooperative institutions how to work with that. And last year we had some educational program launched, and we train our staff and future staff how to work with these systems. In terms of achievement, these goals of digitalization. So that's all. Colleagues, if you have any questions, so you can see our contacts. You can ask something. Thank you very much, Leah. Yeah, let's applause. So, I would like to add that for successful implementation of digitalization, it is important to have cooperation on different levels, and I would like to hear
Анонсировали про
this announce to some Vanis type of and this project was by Rostelecom, was realized by Rostelecom, and I would like to hear it. So give the floor, Borisova Alexeya. So please tell us about something. It is a deputy of CEO of Bashkortostan, which is in Rostelecom. Colleagues, good day. Good day. Just let's check slides. Okay, it's working. Great. So, we have such topic as, well, from the point of view of the main semantical units, I will speak from them. Everything that was mentioned before by speakers. The cooperation of customer in this digital project, it is about cooperation with different units of markets, with some dangers and fears. This project of digital transformation, which was created last year in our territory of our republic. So the task is the area of expertise. We mix some expert branches who are the main participants of the market of the digitalization. We had many speakers today, reports. It was like active pressing. So guys, here we have a number we have to achieve to it. Some federal integrators, different areas, platforms of digitalization, some IT companies, IT vendors. Everyone in its branch is a particular market. It's a different story to understand who is the best, who is reliable, what solutions are being made. And it is the main fear that customers are telling us, okay, we will implement this platform today. We see it. Okay, you persuaded me. What about after 2 years? Is it still compatible and is it still working? And after that, we have many cases of business. 3 years ago, they implemented this platform, and now we are facing the question how to implement it with other platforms. So on such part of main fears, this project is giving its answer. So the task of popularization of digitalization. So the main aim of these digital projects and the effectiveness of these offline projects and platforms is the search of economic effect. And this examination by experts of participants, this office, allows people and entrepreneurs just sit and discuss all these spheres and to form some special programs and strategies of digitalization. So we are working with some quite understandable algorithm. First, when we face with business, when business come to us with some inquiry, business say, guys, we want to be quicker, we want to implement these elements of governance production. But we just barely understand what is that. And after that, the dialogue begins. They say, guys, just show me what you can do. And then the dialogue begins, we start, because it's not efficient to tell about every 100 cases. because it will be too long. We just go straight to the dialogue. Okay, your profile, your industry of business, your task, what is your strategy? It is really important question. What is your strategy? What do you want to receive in the further 2 or 3 years? So it depends on your economical purposes, how we will work. First is audit, what exists today. And from this agenda, we formulate the first offer, and we formulate the strategy. The rich market of expert platforms, which we know how to cooperate with, how to work with, how to get the benefits of it. And of course, when we discuss some main stuff, when we formed the strategy and the vision of everything, and after that there is a question of money, of assets, and where can we take this money, where can we get it? So it's about some sources of funding, to be particular about sources of support. Also, we have these offers in our expert office. With every funding platforms of subsidies and etc., we have cooperation. You can come with this question to us. With the main agenda of Rostelecom is intended and is working on a service model. We implement new solutions, it gives their benefit, and the investment of Rostelecom just is operating the same way. So the general algorithm is finished with implementation. What is important for business? It is important that, okay, we implemented, we had this digital platform, we are close to realization, this digitalization, these platforms. Who will support, who will supply, who will develop this platform? And the dialogues from the point of view of the IT companies in terms of large numbers, participants of market. We are gathering this large crew of digitalization in order to create some story when the client can get some economical profit. Slide is just for demonstration. The main story which has been discussed, it's an industrial specification. It is important to understand in our dialogues with clients that business needs to be understood. There are some industry requires, not just implementation of digital elements, not just implementation of IT plast or platform, but they should understand the industry itself, what is important in some industries, what clusters are there, what problems are there, what is marking, what is choosing, and what elements are here today. So it is in our bank of solutions with understanding this effectiveness. So in general, the goal of my report was to demonstrate that there is understanding of some fears, risks of business, that why they are afraid of implementation digital things, and to show that this project is the effective platform when we can just in close dialogue and conversation work with our clients. So thank you for the attention.
Thank you very much, Alexei. And in continuation of practical application, I would like to invite the developer of IT solutions who will tell us about digitization of business. This is the CEO of Lexema company, Viktor Timoshin. Please, the floor is yours.
Добрый день.
Hello.
Я расскажу о нашем
I will tell you about our practice of business process automation. We are the company that is dealing only with digitization of business processes. For many years, we've been working since 1995.
все это время,
And for all this time,
по сути,
we develop one main product around which we move, and this is our ERP system.
последнее время там возник
And recently,
достаточно
we
сильный тренд.
introduced a very strong trend that will change the rule of the games. This is robotization.
Года 3 назад начали
In the recent 3 years, we have started to develop our own ERP platform.
достаточно активно продаем.
It is being actively sold at the moment. We are selling our ERP platforms as individual platforms, and our main advantage, our main feature is the fact that we are sewing together the two approaches. We are implementing ERP methods and also methodology, IT methodology as well, and this is our achievement and a problem at the same time. So traditionally, the Russian market, the ERP systems and ERP technologies are the different teams and different technologies that work on different schedules. If the company implements the ERP system, it takes several years to implement this, to introduce this ERP system. And after this, the robotization company gets into this field, and again it takes 3-5 years or even more to work on processes. So far, the key indicator in this case will be achieved in a very long and an uncertain period of time. And in one business process, we introduce the ERP system and ERP platform. This accelerates the achievement of the result and makes cheaper everything. As far as the difference, in spite of the difference of technological approaches, the target
установка и у той, и другой технологии одна и та
for both technologies is the same, to change the business processes. And if we introduce ERP and then RP, then we do the same task by two different ways, but we are doing the access work. But if we do everything at the same time, then it makes life cheaper as far as some access steps will be eliminated for the software engineers. Now about our product.
Он представляет из собой
So this is the product that is the group of different services that are interconnected,
RP-технология,
and RPA technology added additional features to these services.
до последних лет
If earlier
внедряли
we used to introduce
путем полной замены старого
substitution of the obsolete software and introduced our own software, it was quite difficult to find the customer because it takes a while and it's certain complexity associated with replacement. But nowadays, once we see that integration mechanisms have been developed, and RPA platform also ensures integration with the systems that do not provide any mechanisms for integration. It could just be integrated through user interface. If the company have an unfriendly system in terms of automation that is not capable of providing RPs and is not capable of negotiating any issues on integration, or no experts are employed in the company, we can integrate anyway via the user interface, when the robots will use the user interface and collect data from the user interface. It's not the best way, it's better to do it through IP. But if there is no API, then probably it could be done like this. As a result, this ensures the ability to add different services into existing information system without taking away any parameters from automation pattern without violating what we have. And now it's demanded. We did not plan it before, but this is life, and life gave us another scenario. I will tell you about some of the services that we offer. There are a lot of these services, but as far as we are limited for time, I will not be able to tell you everything. Yes, please be as short as possible, and so then integrate into EFFEKTIVNOST.RF, and then you will be able to give more details. Robotization is really a very important topic that is underestimated nowadays by the management of the Russian companies. I will tell you just one thing. In our practice, we used to deal with the robot project, so with the payback time for up to several days. So as far as I understand, the payback in 3 years is a very good indicator. If it's 1 year, it's also good, but if it's just several days, no one knows many examples of this kind. But we are in a situation when there are some projects that last not very long or not very big in terms of cost, were paid back in several days. It's not the common case, but it happens several times. Also, we have a very interesting case, which we are now trying to clone for Severstal. Just a few words about Severstal, because Severstal is one of the most fast-forward companies in the Russian market, and it's one of the largest private companies, and the management culture is probably there one of the best and one of the most developed among the Russian companies. And the example of this is that the center, servicing center, and accounting office is one of the largest consulting companies. And at this company, we are now multiplying and copying the environment and the platform, ERP and RPA platforms. And the idea is that in any company, it is supposed that many factors are supposed to be controlled. The performance of contracts, internal procedures, and whatsoever. And as for parameters that are supposed to be controlled, there are a lot of them, and sometimes people forget about them and are not very accurate in controlling them. So it results in a reduction of quality. So they sacrifice quality, and so far we're able to create the environment that is controlling the control points, and robots are controlling a lot of events, up to 300 at every facility of the company. And the main advantage of this platform is that the media itself controls robot not in one information system, but in similar systems like in SAP GRC, it works for 3 SAP, and as far as ERP is looking into any information system, we're capable of controlling any information system available in the company. One more service that is really interesting and I would like to tell you about is mobile application, My Company, that is now being introduced at NPO, one of the largest companies in Ufa. This is just an ordinary mobile application for employees, and nothing special is about this application, but we introduced a lot of functions, up to 150,
все действия, все
And almost all of the actions, all steps and interaction of employees is now in mobile application. And as a result,
некая платформа для цифровизации.
there is a platform for digitization.
Есть проблема, когда мы не
There could be a matter when we cannot digitize processes because of the fact that a lot of things are done manually, but as soon as we transfer all of the processes into via mobile application, all of the processes become to leave, they start leaving the digital trace, and ability for further enhanced digitization of the company. Please wrap up. Thank you very much, and I have already finished. The contact information is here on the screen. A lot of expertise the company has and offers other solutions as well. Dear colleagues, now I would like to start with our award ceremony, because we will have the award ceremony for the best practices for the companies of participants of the national project Labor Efficiency in Bashkortostan. We would like to invite for award. Today, we award the winners of the Best Practices competition among the companies participants of the competition in labor efficiency in Bashkortostan. We would like to invite the First Deputy Minister for Economic Development and Investment Policy, Ayrat Fakhreddinov. Please, let's start the award ceremony. Place number 3 for the award, Labor Efficiency, the company Engineering Production Company Новые Технологии LLC is awarded. And the head of the Finance Department, Anastasia Melnikova.
За второе место по номинации «Наставник»
Place number 2 in nomination Development of Youth.
общество Белебеевский завод.
Stock company Belebey Auto Normal Plant. We invite Deputy Head of HR and HR Policy Anatayev Ruslan.
За второе место по номинации
Second place nomination, Improvement of Efficiency and Labor Efficiency, Limited Liability Company, Scientific Production Company, Anisma, and we would like to invite the director of the company, Nikolaev Yevgeny.
Поздравляем.
Congratulations. Place 1 in nomination Occupational Development of Youth, Bashkortostan Passenger Company, Suburban Passenger Company, Deputy Director General Artur Valentinovich Salihov.
Поздравляем. И за первое место
Congratulations. Place 1, Improvement of Efficiency and Efficiency Improvement Beton Construction. For award, we would like to invite business trainer Vera Koneva, business coach.
Спасибо огромное, Айрат Салаватович. Мы поздравляем.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to the winners, and this would be the end of the award ceremony. Congratulations to nominants.
И хотел бы сказать, что у нас еще запланировано подключение
And we also planned the connection of the online presentation from Ministry of Economy and Development. Mr. Dozhev, if you succeed, then let's have it online. If not, then we will have 5 minutes for questions. Please, if you have any questions, raise your hands.
Вопросы к кому?
So, questions and who you ask. Do you have any questions?
Если вопросов сейчас нет, то
If there are no questions,
на правах ведущего.
then I, as a host, I want to ask. Well, the question is, what are the practical steps? You said in your presentation that there are already some results and steps. For that, companies which want to introduce your platform, and can you describe some unique case and universal case? Yes, the simplest is to be participant of this national project of labor efficiency. They had some manufacturing industry, some agriculture industry, techniques. If with turnover of 400 million rubles, and in their capital there shouldn't be any foreign participants.
Мы их там, причем каждый год пытаемся,
So every year we try to organize, and so we came to October. We tried to make the process of merging just simpler. There were some penalties and etc. What about the profits? And so it had to be like legal face. So what about criteria of limiting the participants? I reckon that they are not necessary. So it was obvious in others' case that the impact on the company, on the budget turnover. So if the company is experienced, it is better. If a company just made some services, you helped it, but the company was closed. So the first is in labor efficiency. The method was the next. Let's have some enterprise. There are some 4,000 enterprises in our project. Let's take enterprises with more profit margin, and on some obvious reason, we have some returning realization, and this risk worked with 400 plus, and then we decreased to this level to 400 millions. But the digital agenda isn't considering some additional investments in the system, because we are doing this expertise, this examination, but this expertise is on 30 main projects, and some other additional examinations are on profits. So you get your product and then you implement this on enterprise. So it's not when you have some enterprise, but when you stimulate this creating your business. So there is statistics when the people that began their enterprise from the scratch, people don't know what is it, what management is, that brothers Chryslers made up some conveyor and everything is already experienced, this Toyota, Mercedes, and etc. Everything is created, but people create some manufacturing areas and they praise with that, and they show to me cameras and say to me, look, what digital enterprise have I got? There's some systems for road building and etc. And I look and I watch that everything is just rolling, but you have some damaging in your enterprise, in your production. And it turned out that the project was made by some Vasily, some random Vasily. But so I thought, so there was some quite not clear logic and method. So they tried to transfer some platforms, and there after that the result is some faulty product. And the heart of our curator and our CEO, it is to widen the participants' cooperation of our business in our country. For me particularly, it is important that competences of every person of digital education, of digital adults. So it has to grow. If you take smartphone with new technologies, if you're older, it is more difficult to use it. So it is difficult to understand how to use these technologies. But the second task, which is really important for us, that nevertheless, furthermore, you can come to some IT director when you face with him, and he understands that you don't have any competences. And really important factor is that it shouldn't be unpleasant, but it is the corruption in this IT sphere.
Хочется привлекать внимание тех, кто за это отвечает, точнее, отвечает за то, чтобы этого не было. Но дело в том, что коррумпированность...
The main thing is that the corruption of this sphere is not about giving some hints what to do. But the important thing is that your director has some subject knowledge, and he knows some software, some SAP, for example. And he knows the manager, he knows how to cooperate with him. So we had such experiences with conversation with such people which implement such technologies. So it is the choice of yours on just places. So on the base of RefitMed, we did some digital store, and we had some very cool case. We had some IT director, but now it is another one who understands from every level to the highest. When we were considering this case, there was a person who said to us what to do, and he said that I have competence you don't have, and you have to listen to me. So if you are just a representative of the warehouse of the stock, it's not important. So director said that I've chosen some product. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. You didn't approve anything. You didn't understand how to implement everything and how it will be in just general architecture of this platform. So from the general question of support enterprises, of course, we have this polar star to create such system which uses human resource just in a minimal level. In every point of client, of customer way, we add some points. So, in accordance with your understandings, with your experience, if you understand that you have a great audit, you have a great system, you have some BI, but you need something unique. Some feature, some unique feature, and you want to have some cut. Or if you... So, if you have this demand and want, and you want to know to learn some knowledges, and you get some steps, and as a result you get a system. Of course, it's obvious the sector is IT director and CEO, but as a result you come to this accompaniment and you get the result. So I hope that your offer will be heard by people and it will be used by others, and we will wait that it works. Of course, we made in these mobile apps, everything is clear there. And you watch and say, oh my God, I saw that before on other computer just so many years ago. So it's clear to every user. it's a pleasant interface, it's a pleasant user experience.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much.
На связи по ВКС.
And now, online, we have the Director of the Department of Digital Technology of the Ministry of Industry and Trade of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Dozhdov. Welcome.
Слышите нас?
Can you hear us?
Да.
So, dear colleagues, I can hear you very well. We had a very interesting session on digital transformation, and we would like to listen to your opinion. What would you recommend? Dear colleagues, thank you for your invitation, and thank you for your interest, the interest of the Republic to our project. Because those opportunities that the portal and the platform EFFEKTIVNOST.RF provides are demanded nowadays as well. And to many extent, that demand that we see, and that is growing for the Russian IT solutions, with the use of this platform as a tool, may be satisfied with high quality. Why I'm so confident? Pavel has already mentioned this because for the last moments I've been listening to what has been said. The issue of excellences and readiness of people to respond to changes and to implement the changes is the matter of high-quality expert support of all the processes, process of transformation, automation, selection of solutions, and those effects that the companies will get from utilizing digits at all stages of production, at the main and auxiliary stages, shall be provided with the level of responsibility and supported with the level of responsibility. So far, that support that is being proposed at the portal is ability and opportunity to save efforts and to get skills and excellences online. And we will, of course, be grateful for the feedback, and we will certainly rely on involvement of the Republic in this project. And also, it is absolutely important to understand how everything needs to be adjusted for the companies, and that is why we welcome any type of feedback, reviews for these services. It will be really very helpful. And this is not just the intergovernmental and interagency project, but we do hope that this is going to be the project that will be implemented at different levels between the regions, and where it is necessary, it will be between the municipalities and colleagues of the companies, developers, service providers. It is welcome. And we will also allocate a certain role for them at their platform. And we will have different tasks, digitization based on the Russian solutions, and also improvement of efficiency and productivity, and all the features that Digit gives us in different spheres of industries. And it is also going along with that meeting that our president hosted. And the IT topics is really very conscious with our government, and every part of the government and every part of industry, innovations, technologies will clearly identify the agenda and provide understanding in this respect. So far, here, we have the intergovernmental understanding of digits, and our colleagues from the Ministry of Economic Development understand all of the processes of digitization and are ready to support this. And we are ready to adjust it to all those demands and all those inquiries that we'll have for the platform. And in the first turn, the assessment of digital maturity that the platform offers is extremely important, and we are ready to audit the solutions, and also any demand for the technologies and demand for an inquiry for the support measures is possible to calculate based on the digital audit. And the digital trace we accumulated the platform is extremely important and will be the foundation for us for understanding the need in terms of the government support that needs to be provided, that we are also ready to digitize and order in digital format for certain needs and for certain cases, for certain projects. That is why we would like not to neglect this opportunity, but please provide us your feedback online about your needs. And for developers, we will try to improve this platform so it becomes not only the service for the companies, but also the point for providing answers for the questions of the companies. And so it will offer the skills and excellences and expertise in different branches of industry, and it will allow us to develop different solutions for IT platforms, and this demand shall be the consortium answer when the developers, and we see it today, will work in cooperation, and the developers will be able to deal with the functional requirements from the customers, and they will be able to readjust their software products and incorporate them into the development programs and create the platform. And this is the task for us for the next year. That is why every stage of the project life cycle and optimization and transformation at the platform will be supported and accompanied. That is why I would like to call you and invite you to be more proactive and to track all of the changes in the legislation, in the legal acts, and we will be able to introduce it in the platform. And I would also like to reiterate that we are supported by the government, and that is why such a dialogue that we have is really very useful. It will go on, and we are ready to get involved in this dialogue. And I would like to wish luck to all of the participants, to all participants of this event. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your words, and we would like to say in response that we are ready for feasibility projects, we are ready for pilot testing, and if the region is ready, we are always proactive, and if you are interested, we would like to invite you to come and join us at our further events. Thank you very much. So, our event is over. I would like to thank everyone, to thank all of the speakers, participants of the event, and I would like all of these discussions to be brought to life as soon as possible, and I would like these solutions to be used for the benefit of your companies. Bye.